Whoa.
Okay, did everybody sign the card in the back? That is a wedding card for Brendan Hamblin's mom. You guys remember Brendan from the blind school? His mom is getting married in a couple weeks. He asked if we would send the card. So if you haven't signed it, please sign it. We're going to send it off to him. Birthdays. I know one person that had a birthday. Rachel, where is she? Stand up, please. Who else had a birthday?
Waylon, get right there.
Waylon, stand up. Anybody else? July birthday? Oh, look at all the July birthdays. My brother did. Okay, we're going to sing happy birthday and you have to do the birthday dance, okay? Waylon, show us how the birthday dance goes.
Oh, I'm good.
Right, there we go. This is birthday dance right here.
Great treat for real first.
Ready? Be brave. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Rosa. Happy birthday to you. You're talking about I heard your voice. Is that what you're saying? Did I break anyone's eardrums?
What?
Alright, do we have newbies here? Anybody that's never been here before? Come up front, come on, flash. Where's the dog? The dog's a newbie, bring the dog up front.
Which one?
There's two of them? Alright, bring it up here.
Can we bring it back?
First and most important, we're going to meet the human newbie that we have here.
I don't know this dog's name.
What is that? Trey? Do you still go to school? Trey, guys, and he's about to go to college, right, Steven?
Go on, Anthony.
Okay, well, here's who brought you? Waylon brought it. All right, welcome. And then we have Psycho and Brownie. So welcome to Psycho and Brownie.
I think he's scared. Pick him up.
I have.
He's still in the human body.
I have bracelets to award. Yay! Hunter Barnes, come on up.
That's good.
I didn't see Layla here. Damon's here. Damon,
What?
did you do your challenge? Did you do your challenge this past
Week is a month.
month?
Did it? I guess. Yeah.
You have
I forget what it was, but yeah, I guess I did. I don't
You
know.
did it the first week, then come on.
All right.
Okay? Sierra, right here. Did you do your challenge?
What you would do?
All right, guys. Congratulations. Give them a big round of applause. The bracelets are awarded for being here 5 times and doing 5 challenges. So we're super proud of everybody who earns a bracelet. These cannot be bought. So anybody that's wearing one, good job. I love to give them out. Come on. What, Ben? Huh? Alright, well, this is why, guys, this is why you have to make sure you sign in. And you have to write your name so that people can read it, because I'm not the one that does the spreadsheet for the bracelet. And if you write your name down and nobody knows who you are or whether or not you completed your challenge, guess what? It's that much longer till you get bracelets. Okay? What do we use the bracelets for?
A reminder.
A reminder of what?
Rise above hate.
To rise above hate, rise above bullying, rise above what else? What? Situations, right. You can rise above all that negative stuff in your life. Sometimes you just need a little reminder. Okay, so last month's challenge. Peace, this means quiet. Last month's challenge weren't expecting. You're supposed to like make a cake for someone or bring flowers to a neighbor or something like that. There was a lot of ideas that I put out there for you guys. And then I also said if you had a bully, see if you could do the surprise to your bully. Did anybody do that? Caitlin, you want to tell us about it?
I called them and sorry for if I ever did anything wrong to them. And I went past her. She would hang out sometime. We're hanging out at the pool next Saturday.
You are hanging out, so she accepted your apology and everything. That's awesome. So your surprise didn't have to be anything big. It just needed to be something that was a surprise. Just something that's out of the ordinary for you. Okay? It doesn't take very long and it doesn't take very much effort to do something nice for someone. So that's what we were trying to get across. That you can do something nice for someone, even if it's not normally what you do. Okay? So last month we had 45. We had 5 newbies and we had 17 people do the challenge. So now, we have a special surprise for everyone who's here. I'm just going to
No.
Puppies are just in time for school.
Are they purple?
They are purple. They say what? Get some more.
They're not purple.
No, they don't write purple. My favorite, she thought that they were not sorry, they don't write purple.
Good job. Ronnie had hers in my cousin had hers in 7. My cousin had hers in 7. She just developed fast.
Alright, now, I gave you that pen for a specific reason, which we will be finding out later on tonight. Okay? So don't get too attached. You can write it yourself. You can use it. I'm just going to give you a little something later on about it. Okay? Alright, so before we go any farther, I want to make sure that you guys know we have an activity coming up in a couple of weeks. I know it's been a long time since we've done anything besides our regular meeting. We're going to do it. The 18th, okay? The 18th of August, which is a Saturday. It's in a couple of weeks. At 4 o'clock here, we're having our kickoff party, okay? What I mean by kickoff is we got the school year coming up. You guys are going to be starting school that same week. We need to make sure that we get the word out, that we build our numbers back up, and that we let everybody know what Rise Above is and what we stand for, okay? So if you have a friend that you want to kind of introduce them to our group, this would be a great time. I want you guys to bring food, okay? It's going to be like a cookout thing. We're going to have some fun games, some relay kind of stuff. We'll be playing outside. And then after that, we're going to be coming in here and we're showing a movie. It's called To Save a Life. It's about 2 hours long. We're going to have popcorn and stuff like that. It is not appropriate for young kids, okay? I want to give you guys the heads up. If you are like, I'm going to say if you're under 13, really, okay? Unless you have specific permission from your parents. Okay? I'm not sure what the movie's rated, but I'm pretty sure it's kind of PG-13ish, okay? There's a couple of scenes in there. Alright? So I hope you guys can all come. Please, please, please get the word out. Not everybody is here. Not everybody checks Facebook. So if you know you have a friend that you think might want to come with you or whatever, please bring them, okay? We want to have as many people as we can. When is it?
18.
What time? 4 o'clock. Right. Bring food. If I bring the baby at that particular moment, is it still here? If Brittany's having a baby at that moment, Ben will handle it. That's her birthday. That's Cheyenne's birthday and it's Gina's birthday. So only more reason to come. We're gonna party. Alright? Alright, so since PJ did not bring his guitar to sing for us, y'all are stuck with me. So I learned a song. You wanna hear it?
Yeah! I heard part of it though. Alright. It's stuck in my head.
Hey, my sound man. I think well, that's not how it starts. Go back to it. There we go. Sorry.
You started it.
The reason I wanted to sing that song though is ever since I heard it, I could barely sing it without getting all choked up because I think of you guys. And it means so much to me that, you know, when you do feel like giving up, All you gotta do is take one step. And I know that there's a lot of times that a lot of you have felt like giving up because you've reached out to me and you've told me that. You know, there's been a lot of times that it seems really hard to rise above and to do the right thing. But sometimes all it takes is just one step in the right direction. And you guys are meant for more. Okay? You're not going to be a teenager forever. You're not going to have these problems forever that you struggle with. You're made for more than that. And it's my hope that you guys would see yourselves the way that I see you and the way that God sees you. And that is something that's truly, truly great. So I'm really thankful that I have each of you in my lives. And that song is dedicated to you. Okay? All right. Now, we are going to have our open forum discussion. So I would like a big circle, please. Everybody move your chairs.
Wait, what was the question?
There's no question yet.
Oh, I heard the puppy and that's about it.
Okay. But anyway, a lot of the times, bullying continues on in college as well. So that's why I do have some people that are college students, and feel free to come back, you know, when you're on break and stuff. What I want to know, question number one, is what is the hardest thing you've had to learn at Rise Above? What's been the hardest thing that I've taught you that you've had to put into practice? Yeah?
Accept yourself as you are.
Okay. Katie?
Keep your mouth shut.
Oh, yeah. It took me a long time to learn that one.
To stick up for others.
Stick up for others. Yeah, sometimes that's really hard.
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness of others and yourself. What else? Nobody else had anything difficult that they had to learn this past year? Guess what? We're a year old now, guys. This group is a year old. So we're kind of going over some of the basic things that we've learned in the last year and what things we need to continue to work on, maybe work on a little bit more.
I just have no
What?
being a good friend.
Being a good friend? Yeah. Difficult sometimes. sometimes too, absolutely, because it's hard to know.
Who your friends are.
Well, it's also hard to know where to stand your ground and where to step back. You know? Anybody else have any problem with that? Me too. Yeah. What is the most important thing that we've learned? What do you think? Not necessarily the hardest, but the most important thing.
Mine would be not to physically harm yourself, to let your stress out a different way.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's a very important one. What else?
I don't think there is the most important thing.
Okay,
I
why?
think it's all very important.
It's all important. Yeah. When?
Letting things go.
Letting things go. Yeah. That's one I have a problem with, right, Ben?
Me too.
Yes, ma'am. Forgiving others. Forgiving others. That is another one.
Acts of random kind.
Acts of random kindness. Yeah, how many of you guys did stuff like that before you started coming to Rise Club? You ever do acts of random kindness, or is this something new to you?
Brad did it all the time.
Okay, a few of you. But I've asked you to do that pretty much all year long, haven't I? To do nice things for people. I'll tell you what mine is. The most important thing that I think I've taught you guys is respect.
That's hard.
And I want to give a couple of little examples. The person I was going to use as an example isn't here tonight, but I want to say that there's been a lot of times over the past year, that I've prayed for people in this group, that I've spoken about my faith in God, and things like that along those lines. And I know that not all of you are of Christian belief, and that's okay. I know that I've been respected in the fact that I have different beliefs from those who don't believe in the Christian way. They don't believe in God or whatever. They believe a different religion. But yet they still come and they still respect me because I respect them. Okay? And that goes a long way. I want you guys to realize that not everybody is the same as you are. That's the most important thing I want you to get from this group is when you come across somebody that's different in any way, shape, or form, whether they be gay, whether they're of a different color, a different religion, a different age. Sometimes it's hard for the older kids to relate to the younger ones. Like the seniors have a problem with a lot of the freshmen coming in because they think the freshmen think they know it all, this, that, and the other. But if you are discriminating against the freshmen coming in just because they're a freshman, you're not showing them the respect that they deserve because they're a person just like you. We learn all year long that no matter what, you still need to respect someone. Why? Why should we respect other people?
Because they're human just like you.
Because they're human. Exactly. Not for any other reason, but they're human, just like you are. Okay? Even if they don't respect you first, it's still your job to respect them. Anybody else want to add to that? Yes, Chris.
Treat others how you want to be treated.
Exactly. Or better yet, the way that I do it is I treat others the way I believe God would treat me, which is even better. I don't always succeed in that, but that's what I'm shooting for. Anybody else? All right, you guys are too talkative tonight. I want to tell you a little catchphrase based on that respect thing. When you guys go back to school, hey girl, come on in. See ya. That's okay, pull up a chair. Guys, this is Stacy and her daughter Michelle. Hi. Come on in and have a seat. We're just having a round table discussion here, so you missed all of the back to what we're talking about, respect. I know that my daughter Lauren had a lot of issues with giving respect to people that did not deserve it, namely people in authority over her, okay? And there's a way that I want to teach you guys to be able to conquer that issue. Has anybody had issues with not showing respect to maybe teachers, administrators, bosses? Yeah. Okay? Because you think if they don't respect you, you shouldn't have to respect them, right? Okay. I'm going to teach you one phrase that if you don't take anything else from this meeting tonight, I want you to remember this. Stock it in your brain and use it, okay? When in authority over you, or anyone for that matter, has issue with you and makes you angry and you disagree with them, the first way you can start off your sentence to them is, I respectfully disagree. Okay? And that right there puts the burden on them because you are telling them, I respect you, I disagree with you, but respectfully. And then if they still want to continue to show you disrespect, that's on them. Okay? But you've shown respect by saying that.
Another one is with all due respect.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay? It's very important. Anybody, can you think of anything else that you could say? I know it seems a little old school to say something like that, but I guarantee you guys, if you bust out with that to a teacher, they're going to look at you like, what did they just say to me? Like, nobody says that, okay? But it's showing respect, and I guarantee you, you're going to grow about that much in their eyes, okay? They're going to think a lot more of you because you chose to respectfully disagree with them rather than to get all up in their business and be rude, okay? We talk a lot about attitude. You know, when you say something to somebody, you have to use the right attitude. You have to use the right body language. Seriously, if I went up to somebody and I was like, well, I respectfully disagree, seriously, does that mean I really respectfully disagree with them? No. Okay? Or if you're walking like this, like, I respectfully, no. That's not respectful. Okay? Seriously, you're going to stand up and you're going to talk to someone like a human being, like you are, okay? Like you would want them to speak to you. You need to make sure that your body language and that your tone matches what you're saying. Okay? All right, good job. Now, I want to know, what do you like most about Rise Above?
I had a lot of meet people saying how I don't go to school here, so I actually just meet people that kind of live around here, or do live around here.
Okay, meeting new friends.
I've met people that accept me for who I am, despite how I look different than everybody else.
I can tell you, when Hunter first started coming here, it is amazing the difference between when she first started coming and now. Now she runs around like she's like, hey, what's up, everybody? And when she first started coming here, she was like,
She was.
but she's met people that do accept her for who she is. And I know that she hangs out with some of the people from Rise Above outside of Rise Above as well. Because we all are learning the same things together. Yes, Ava.
I learned that there's people here that are outside of the group I used to hang out with that are better than they were. Well, it sounded wrong. But they helped me more, and the other people just pretended to care. And now I don't have as many problems as I used to before I didn't come to Rise Above.
What do you think that is?
I had depression problems, and then my two best friends I met them here, and then I have other people that I can turn to other than them at all times that also go here, and I didn't have as many people before.
That's excellent reasons to come here. I can say the same thing about Hunter, or about Kayla that I said about Hunter. You know, I mean, she's really blossomed as a part of this group by becoming accepted. How many of you guys have felt like at times that people don't understand you? Okay, yeah. We've all felt that way, and that's the great thing about this group is that when you come here and you feel that way and you're like, nah, whatever, you know, I'm just coming to check it out, you find out that you're not the only one that's ever felt that way. You find out that you're not the only one that has the problems that you have. You know, my daughter Lauren, she was a cutter. You know, she cut herself all the time, and it was just to help her cope. And it used to scare me as her mom. I didn't know what to think. But now that I've started this group, I realized that she wasn't the only person that's ever had a problem with that. There's a lot of kids that struggle with that. And there's other ways around that. There's better ways of dealing with things. Okay, what else? Your favorite thing about this group? Ian.
Meeting people that give me the same respect that I try to give everybody else.
Do you get respect from people here most of the time? Good. Glad to hear that. Yeah.
I think the other here the most is that everyone that comes here feels like more of a family than just acquaintances.
Exactly.
agree with that too.
Because I guarantee you, I'd give the back, the shirt off my back, and when
Sierra,
We're gonna stick up with people who might not treat you
do you think people in this group do that?
yes. Wait,
You don't know? Okay, so my question to you would be then, wait a minute, I'll get to you. How many of you have stuck up for someone since you've been a part of this group? Awesome. You guys are awesome. Man, you guys great. Wait, yes.
No matter what you do, you won't be judged here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like that a lot. I do want you guys to know, even if you didn't know that before tonight, that my door is always open. And if there's something that you need to talk about, I don't judge anyone. Trust me. Lauren did everything there was to do, okay? And I'm her mom, and I'm finding out more and more stuff that she did all the time. I don't judge anyone. If you need someone to talk to, you can always talk to me. And I guarantee there are other people in this room. There are other leaders, my dad, Angie, you know, that you can talk to them as well, and they'll not judge you either, okay? Also, I want to mention something that was brought to my attention the last time we had a meeting, and that is when people share their stories, if they give their testimony of something that, you know, they've been through in their life or whatever, this is a place where you can meet other people that maybe have gone through that and can help you. And you might become friends with them just because you guys have been through the same thing. That's happened to me a lot since I lost my daughter in a car accident last year. I have become very good friends with other women who have also lost their children. Women who I never would have been friends with before, but now we have a common bond because of something that's happened to us. And it could be something as simple as maybe you've been bullied, maybe you have been bullied, maybe you've had an abortion, maybe you're gay. I don't know what all the issues are. There's a million of them, but probably if you come here and you share your story, you're going to have somebody who can relate to you. Okay? Anybody else want to say what you like the most about this group?
You.
You already said that.
I like the fact that everybody knows they can come here for help. And we've been doing this for a year, and you people are the prime part of the group. You're still here. You know you can come here for help. And like Brad said, we're like family. And I've grown close to a lot of you and everything. And I grew a bond with a couple of people the first time I came. It's just something different, and it's very rewarding to come here. I look forward to coming here each and every meeting that we have. And I used to get a blessing when we met in the house. I just walk in there and see all them shoes on the floor. That many people come. That shows you there's a need out here, and there's a need that you're trying to do to meet this need. And you need them, they need you. It's just a family bond.
Yeah. But it goes beyond this room.
Yeah.
My goal for this group is not that we get a bunch of people in here every time we have a meeting and we have a great time and we're all like a family, and then we go out there and act just the same as everybody else. My goal for this group is that the things that you learn here, you take out there to school with you, to your community. You reach out to the kids who don't come here, the kids who need to come here but are too embarrassed or are too proud or have heard bad things about us or whatever. There's a multitude of reasons why people don't come here. There's people that used to come here that don't anymore, and they choose to come for one reason or another or not to come. It makes me happy when you choose to come, but if you choose not to, it doesn't mean I love you any less. I understand. I lost my train of thought. So, what do you like the least? What's your least favorite part? What can we change? Yes?
That it's only once a month.
We're going to change that. We're going to change that. What else? Don't be afraid. My feelings won't be hurt, I promise.
That I can't pack all your guys and take you with me.
Yes.
When I'm here and Katie picks on me and no one stands up for me.
That is so That's not true. Oh, my. that is when people are not respectful of other people that are standing up here and they're talking and texting and carrying on a side conversation. And I think that's rude and that's not what we're about here. And I think you guys are better than that. And I really, really like it when you listen because it makes me feel like I'm not wasting my time. So even if you really don't want to listen, can you just like pretend, you know, that you're listening for a little while because you get free pizza and, you know, whatever else. I like to feel like I'm making a difference. So I'm sure that everyone else that stands up here wants to feel like they're making a difference too. And it takes guts to stand up here. Ask anybody who's done it. You know, anybody who stood up here and told their story or sang a song or did anything. It takes guts to stand up here in front of all these people and do what you gotta do, okay? So the least we can do is be respectful and not talk and carry on, you know, when somebody else does. That's my least favorite thing. That's something I hope we can do in the future. Anybody else? Seriously, guys? You like everything else about Rise Above? What? Rise Above. Okay. So my last question then, and then we'll get to talk about other things, is how can we make the biggest impact on our schools this year? What do you guys think we should do? What's going to make a huge impact?
Keep you there.
I should just remind people that like, you see something going, say something to them, it's really an honorable thing to do. I mean, that's one thing.
Okay. What else? Nothing else?
Encourage others to get good grades.
Come on, Brad, you can do it.
Okay.
Hold on, Jane, you're in the front.
All right, let me give you a few ideas. All right? What? You all get Rise Above shirts? I'll probably be doing another order, so if you want to order one, I'll have them. I want to be able to make, how many of you guys were around last year when we were going strong with 80 kids every week? Okay? You guys remember the excitement that we had?
The chaos.
The chaos, yes. I'm not saying I want 80 kids here every week, okay? But I am saying we need to bring our numbers up from what they are right now, okay? We need to invite more people. We need to get that excitement back, all right? So the excitement is going to be from you. Those of you who have made it your choice to come, even during the summer when the numbers are down and we're only once a month and things like that. We're going to go to twice a month beginning in September, okay? It's up to you. Well, we're actually doing twice a month in August because we're having an activity. So one meeting, one activity. It's up to you guys to make sure that that excitement gets carried outside of this room, okay? That is one reason I gave you the pins, okay? I want you guys, your challenge, I wasn't going to get to this till later, but I'm going to give it to you now because it fits with what I'm saying. Your challenge this month is when you go to school, use that pin, make a friend, and give them your pin. And invite them to come to a Rise Above meeting with you. Now, you give them your pin, I promise you I will give you another one next time I see you.
I might want to show cheat on the calendars.
Oh, well, if they want teeth marks, it's okay, they're different. Yes.
Ours has a stairs and a
You're not allowed to have pins. No, it says no pins.
Sharpies. Oh, yeah.
She doesn't go to share and
I'm going to okay, all the more reason, because now you have a black market pin, okay? Okay, big money. So, let me tell you guys, first of all, those pins weren't free, okay? I bought a whole bunch of them because I want to get our name out there and I want people to know that we still exist, we're still here, we're still working to try to do better and make our schools and communities better places, okay? The only way we're going to get our name out there is if we wear our t-shirts, wear our bracelets, give out our pens, wear our little tattoo things that I give you guys every once in a while. We're going to have to get our name out there so that people remember us. Waylon.
I wear my bracelet at work and a lot of people ask me about it.
Okay, give them a pen. I'll give you another one. Any one of you guys who come to me next time you see me and say, hey, give my pen away, I'll give you another one immediately. I have 500 of them, okay? You'll get another one, trust me.
Nice job.
Okay. So, I want you guys not just to give it away and be like, oh, anybody need a pen? Here you go. No. I want you to talk about Rise Up. I want you to say, you know what? This is a pen from a really cool group that I go to. You should come with me sometime. It's about anti-bullying. What? You don't have a problem with bullying? It's still fun. We meet lots of nice friends. We have pizza. It's fun. People act silly for a while, and it's just a great place to hang out. You should come.
I need to step off for a minute.
So you guys think you can do that? Seriously, it's not that hard to give a pen away, right?
No.
You can do it? That's rude. I want to be able to give out double the amount of pens next week, okay? All right. So now, we're going to go to the box. And somebody has in here that we need to talk about trust. So, I don't know who put that in there, but what do you guys have to say on that topic?
God, don't listen to her.
You would be a good person to start this discussion.
When trust is broken, it's hard to get back.
Mm-hmm.
And when you keep re-breaking it, then it's just not good.
Right?
That's
That's
it.
how I feel. That's my opinion.
Sierra?
That it's hard to trust the person to get it there many times.
Right? Daniel?
That though bad events have happened to you in the past that have made you lose your trust completely to everybody, that there are people out there that you can trust for sure, no matter what.
Let's stop on that for a second. I like that. How many of you guys have had your trust broken in the past? Seriously, like every single hand should go up, okay? It happens. Alright? But it's very important what Damien said, that just because you've been hurt, because believe me, if you know someone long enough, they're going to hurt you. I don't care who they are. It could be your closest friend, it could be your boyfriend, your husband, your mom and dad, anybody. They're going to hurt you eventually. Okay? You know why? Because we're human, right? We are not perfect. Alright? But it's real important to know that just because you've been hurt and your trust has been broken does not mean that nobody is worthy of your trust ever again. It also does not mean that that same person is not worthy of your trust ever again. That same person could change and grow. This is a big reason why over the summer that I really try to preach this a lot to you guys. How many of you guys feel like over the summer that you've done some growing and maturing? I know a lot of you have. I can say that I've seen you, okay? Now, if you think you've grown and matured over the summer, don't you want to give someone else that same opportunity when you see them in school, when school starts again and you think, oh my gosh, I hate the way that person treated me last year, they were so immature, but maybe, just maybe, they've grown up over the summer, and maybe they deserve another chance. I can tell you from experience that I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. A lot of really bad mistakes, okay? But I have people in my life who forgave me for those mistakes and chose to trust me again, and I feel like that I have learned from those mistakes. And that's not to say that you don't have to pay for your mistakes, because you do, but it doesn't mean that you can't trust that person ever again. It doesn't mean that you can't be trusted ever again, okay? People grow and people change. I'm not the same person at 41 that I was at 20, thank God, okay?
Got something against me?
No, not at all. But I'm a lot more mature and I'm a lot wiser now than I was. When I was 20, I acted just like Brittany. I'm not saying that in a bad way. She's my clone. She knows it. But all I'm saying is, when I was 20, a lot more now, for the record, I'm 22 now. A lot more things got me upset. I acted a lot more, what do I want to say? Spastic, that's a good word. Yeah. A I acted a lot differently. I've calmed down a lot since I got older because I realized that through my experiences, my outlook on life has changed. Now my dad, who's older than I am, is even taller than me because he has 20 more years of experience than I do, okay? So he's a lot more mature than I am. And even though there's times that still at 41, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm totally acting stupid. My dad can come to me and be like, Shannon, you're acting stupid, you know? And I have to listen because he's been there. He's done that. Just like when I tell Brittany, I've been there. I've done that. You don't want to go down that road, okay? Give people that you go to school with that same opportunity. Give them another chance, okay? And then if they prove that they're still immature and they still can't be trusted, you can walk away and maybe try it again next year, okay? There's no reason why you should not walk through those school doors this year with a completely open mind towards everyone that you meet, okay? Give them a chance. You know you like it when you're given a chance, all right? All of us deserve another chance. Anything else on trust? Yes.
Sometimes people, like family, they can break your trust really easily, and it's almost impossible to get it back what they did.
What gets it back? What gets trust back?
First number of times.
Katie?
Not doing the same thing you did to get that trust broken.
Right. What else? Time. Is that what you said? Kate says time. Time and proving yourself. Those are the only two things that bring trust. Okay? And so I know that Lauren was guilty of this all the time. She would do something stupid and get in trouble and then be mad because I didn't trust her the next day. And I had to teach her, what? I had to teach her that when you break trust, it takes more than just a day to get it back. It takes more than 2 weeks to get it back. You know, depending on how big the offense is, it can take a very long time to get it back. And depending on how many times you continue to make that same mistake, it takes that much more time to get it back. Yeah.
After, well, when it happened, it was in October, so I don't know how many months that is. I think it's about 9 or 10 months. I still haven't got the trust back from my parents. They don't really trust me. From what happened, like, it does take a while to get it back. Depends, like, doesn't matter who you are.
Right.
I mean, they're my parents, and I don't have their trust back yet.
Are you still working for it?
I haven't yet.
Good. That's the key, to never give up. Because one day, Hunter's parents are going to trust her.
Right.
If she keeps on. Now, if she turns right back around and gets fed up with the whole process and says, you know what, never mind, I don't even care if they trust me, I'm sick and tired of trying to be good, they're not going to trust her. And then she's going to break the trust, and it's going to, the whole cycle begins again. This is something that you can't just stop the bus and get off, okay? It's a cycle, and you're always in it. It's whether or not people trust you, and if they don't, you're earning their trust back. And if they do, you're trying to keep their trust, okay? Until you fall off again, because we all do make mistakes, but hopefully your mistakes aren't the same ones and they aren't as bad. You learn from them. Yes?
I have another thing that I've learned. Think before you speak.
Think before you speak. Why do you say that?
Because sometimes I like to tell him things and it would probably be a really bad idea.
So
Proper manners. And say, excuse me.
let me ask you, think before you speak. Does that mean just think about it and then blurt it out anyway, or does that mean sometimes you have to not
If
say
it's
it?
not, if it's not nice, if it's stupid, if it's mature, blah, blah, blah.
Make her think about these things.
No, you don't.
Okay, let me take that a step farther. How else does that apply? What do we do on our cell phones?
Text.
Oh, text, Facebook. Oh, think Twitter, speak. Yeah, Twitter. Let me just say, think before you text. Think before you post. Okay? Seriously, guys, so many fights could be avoided if you would just stop. One of the things that I'm going to reiterate that I taught in the very first Rise Above that we ever had is when you're angry, if you can wait 24 hours before you say or do anything, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be done with it anyway.
Good advice.
Okay? I know it's hard. I do the same thing sometimes. It's hard when you're mad not to get on Facebook and post something. And guess what? When you post something and you're all general about it, everybody knows what you're talking about anyways. So don't be thinking that you're fooling everybody. Yeah. You don't have to tag somebody in your post for them to know you're talking about them, okay? That's just as bad. Why is it just as bad?
Because they can remember maybe.
Yeah,
That is not mature.
right.
Yeah, fuel to the fire.
Fuel to the fire. Yeah. Exactly.
You have to put
Oh, well, more people jump
LLJK at the end.
More people jump in. Exactly. How many of you guys have had that happen?
Man.
Oh, of course, yes. You post something on Facebook and then you get 20 comments from all your friends like, girl, I know what you're talking about, so. No. Is that really necessary? I know you want your friends on your side and everything, and I know you feel like you need to vent, but Facebook is not always the place to do it. Okay? Let me tell you, yes.
Oh, I was gonna say today, me and my friend Jason like go back and forth, we kind of kid around with each other and everything. And he raps, and I posted a status about him. I mean, me and him like we joke around with each other. We kind of like get at each other. Somebody like started commenting on him. They're like, "That's really rude to say." They're like, "You don't know him. You haven't known him for as long as me. You don't do that." And I kept saying over and over again, me and him just kid around like that. I said my post didn't include your names, and I told them that if they didn't like what I had to say, they didn't have to read it or comment on it. Like, she kept going and everything, and like, I kept telling her, I was like, I don't have a problem with him, we're just friends and we kid around, I mean.
So what could you have done in that situation? I'll tell you what I would have done. You tell me. After all of that was posted, what could you have done to stop that issue?
I really don't know, I could've just deleted it, I didn't, I just didn't like really comment back. Everybody else was saying she was like, everybody else was agreeing with me like she was all just kidding, because I really kept saying that, but she kept calling me names and stuff like that, and
Okay.
you know.
What you said, yes.
Girl, you know that you use yourself on Facebook all the time. She does this with everyone. If they're just like fill up status, it could be song lyrics that are just like being insulting towards someone, but they're just song lyrics. She'll be like, "Why would you do that to the person?" And then she turns around and makes a nasty status using like every inappropriate word in the book. And no one says anything.
Just
because
block
she-
her.
Block her. I've already blocked her.
Then you won't have to worry about it. If you block her, it takes the
I love my
problem out completely.
Let me say something else too. In response to Hunter's issue, okay, first of all, how many of you have had an issue like that where something's gone out of hand with comments? Everybody wants to put their 2 cents worth in, okay? What can you do in that situation? When comments start getting out of hand, what do you do? Delete the post. Thank you. Yes, delete the post. Okay? It's not that hard. You don't have to delete the person, okay? But you can delete that post. Because I have an idea about my Facebook. Facebook can be used for good and it can be used for evil, okay? And I want my Facebook to be used for good. So anything that's on my page that is not the best that it can be, if people want to start crap on my page, it's my page. I can take it down, okay? So anytime somebody wants to start crap on my page, I have the option to take it down. Now that also goes for you not being starting other crap on other people's pages, okay? I'm just saying. There's a lot of times that you guys post stuff on your pages that I don't agree with, and then I want to say rise above, and I want to get in the middle of it, but I don't. Why? What? Right? What else?
Adding fuel to the fire.
Exactly. I don't want to add fuel to the fire. Now, you guys all know that I love you. Okay? You know that I love you whether you cuss on your Facebook or not. Okay? You know that I love you no matter what. what I want you to know is just because I'm not saying something when there's an issue there does not mean that I'm not praying for you and thinking about you and hoping that you can work through it on your own. Okay? I sometimes say things to you guys because I want you to know that I am still there and I do read your posts and I do care. And I hurt for you when you're hurting. Okay? But it's not my job to be the Rise Above police, and it's not yours either. Okay? I do like it when I see you guys posting on other people's pages. Just, you know what, you guys? It needs to be done. I can tell you, I see a lot more of that now since we've started Rise Above, that kids will get in and be like, we just need to rise above. We just need to stop it. This conversation needs to be over. And I'm really proud of you guys when you do that. Okay? It doesn't happen all the time, but a lot more it happens now. Any other issues?
Yes. I've been having issues lately because, like, I'm really nervous to go back to school because I've been, like, I left school in October, and I'm really nervous to go back because there's a lot of rumors that are going around about me about why I left, and, like, because a lot of people thought either I ended up in the hospital, because that's one of them I heard. I don't know if it really went around. Some people say my sister put me in the hospital, or some people say it's because I was caught in the act by my parents. Another is that I'm just a slut and I had to leave school. I don't know, but like people are already saying things to me before school starts, so I'm really nervous. That's why I'm probably not going to Sheridan. I'm going this semester, but I don't know for the rest of my college, like not college, but high school education. I think I might go to a different school.
Yes.
You're going to Sheridan.
Whether you
Both
like it or not.
semesters, I will stand up for you, and
Whether you like it or not.
I
But it's what's best for her.
Yeah,
It's what's
and-
best for her.
yes.
I mean, that's her decision. That shouldn't be
It's
anybody
just-
else's.
it's just- Sheridan, like high school, like yes, everybody makes it sound like, but if you just mind your own business and be yourself,
Yeah.
you're perfectly fine.
And you're allowed to break
Ignore ignore everybody else that's doing this and just get on with your day.
Yes,
That's really all you have to do.
And I just want to say too, I stopped going to Sheridan because I got sick of all the crap. And regardless if you're in school or not, people are going to give you crap. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, it
no
really doesn't
doubt.
matter
Yeah.
where you are, you're still going to hear the same stuff. So hiding from it isn't going to do anything.
Wait till you get the job.
Like, I mean, I'm graduated, I mean, I still hear stuff about me, and I live 30-some miles away, and don't even talk to anybody. So,
All of that is a lot more prevalent now than it used to be because of social media, okay? Just because you don't go to a school doesn't mean people won't talk about you. And something I had to teach Lauren too, because she always was dying to go to another school, but I always had to teach her that your problems are going to follow you wherever you go. What you do is learn how to deal with them wherever they are. So, what's going on over there?
I don't know what she's doing. She just needed her.
You gotta pee.
Oh, you need a Band-Aid? Underneath the sink there's a blue box. There's Band-Aids. Everybody needs Band-Aids. Yeah. There you go. All right. Ask in the shower seat. So anyway, what are some things, what kind of advice do you guys have for Hunter in this situation, you guys? I want you to come up with this. You know this stuff.
Just ignore the people and act the way you are.
Okay, take it one step further. One step further than ignoring. What else?
Whenever you have a problem, it's better to, just to think about how your feelings are compared to theirs and why they're doing it. Just think, what's the reason they have against me? I might be different from someone else. From all people I know, I'm not like everyone else. I have my own problems, my own ways I control things. And I'm a bit crazy if you don't know that.
We respect you for that.
Just like, if you're ever in that conversation, if you're ever around, just look around and look, and you find the first person that's looking at them doing it, and like, just looking at them. How would that make you feel if they were doing that to you? And it might bother you that they're doing it, but at the same time, you just gotta think, Would you want someone to stand up for you if they were having with you? I would. And if you ever do, you know, there's people when you go to sheriff. You just ever have a problem, you can walk around the halls with me. I barely go to class. I barely go to class. You find me, I'll walk around the whole day in school with you all day. I don't have a problem with it. Hi, how you doing, teacher? First day of class? I got a pass.
Yeah, Damien, go ahead.
You know, I honestly never really had a problem with people like disrespecting me. I don't know if I was unaware of it.
Yeah, you were.
But, you know, you and I have become pretty good friends. I respect you. But whenever I did find out that somebody had a problem with me, I always confronted them about it and asked them what the problem was. And it usually fixed it, so.
Okay, but let's clarify that.
What the problem is.
Yeah, you don't get up and be like, what's your problem? No.
I mean, I just like, you know, asked them why they have a problem with it, and they just answered me, and I said, well, it's either it's not true, or I just, you know, talk to them about it.
You never had a problem when I talk about your artwork.
Oh.
Or being Batman.
Violence is not the answer.
I'm a bad painter. I can't paint. That's my problem. You can't take credit.
Okay, so Angie,
I think for boys, men, that's different than girls. Because men does not have this drama.
Oh, yeah.
These
Oh.
yes. We're trying to figure out what ladies can do differently.
Right, but then what I think
Yeah.
if a girl did his approach,
Right.
it's just going to cause more.
Okay,
It's like that's my
so let's get
concern.
some ladies' opinions, Rachel.
I really didn't have a
Trade.
problem until like he and I got together and everything was his ex went down. But they were like rumors that I was like thanks us, and I would just go, I didn't know that. Thanks for telling me something about myself. Yeah.
That's a good line.
Yeah, that too.
Michael.
Well, I think guys aren't the only ones that can really use the whole like confronting thing because actually me and her way back when used to kind of hate each other.
Yeah.
And then one day, because a bunch of people were saying stuff, like they told me she hated me, they told her I hated her. So one day I just walked up to her and I said, "Do you have a problem with me?" She's like, "No, I heard you have a problem with me." I was like, "I don't." And we became really good friends. That was fifth grade.
I have to tell you guys that happened with Lauren more times than you can count. So many times. She was beat up, I don't know how many times. And almost every single time she was beat up, she ended up becoming friends with the person that beat her up. Okay? Because the problem had been confronted, whether it was violence, which isn't the answer, or whether it was just face-to-face, hey, what can I do to stop this problem? It has to be confronted. Because what happens is, it's not just between you and that person, it's between everybody, all of your friends and all their friends, and everybody, well, she said this about you, and she said that about you. No, you need to be person enough to stand up and go to that person, and for one, what does that show if you go to that person? What does that show them? Courage. It shows courage. What else?
Respect.
Respect? Right. It shows courage that number one, you care enough about what people think of you, and it shows that you care enough about what people think about them. Okay? That you want to squash any rumors. A good way to put it, if you're actually going to talk to someone about it and you're afraid of what to say, is you can say, you know what, I've heard some horrible things that you said about me. I want to make sure that we clear this up so I'm not saying anything that's not true about you. Can we talk? Okay? You say that to somebody, I guarantee you they're going to sit down and talk to you because they don't want you spreading stuff that's false about them. Okay? And if you tell them, if you make it sound like, okay, I don't want to be saying the wrong thing. Whatever I'm going to say is going to be the truth. So let's sit down and get the truth. All right? There's been rise abovers that's come to meetings. Got an issue with each other. Straight up in the meeting. And I took them both aside and was like, all right, sit down. We're going to talk about this. Right before the meeting, y'all never even had no idea that it was going on. And I took them upstairs in Lauren's room and we talked it out and they were fine afterwards. Because all it is, well, I heard you said this about me. Well, I heard you said this about me. No. none of that was true. Okay, well, we don't have a reason to be mad at each other then. Okay? Or, yes, I did say that about you, but here's why. Okay? And you can hammer stuff out. But if you're on Facebook posting random stuff that you think they don't know you're talking about them, but you really are, or you're talking to your friends about them behind their back, and you're texting people about them, and putting all your business out there, all that does is add fuel to the fire. Okay? We've got to get that under control, you guys. When I was younger, bullying was not half the problem that it is today. And it's because of social media. It's because we don't have that face-to-face interaction. I got bullied one time when I was in school. A girl followed me every single day after class, pushed me down the hallway, knocked my books out of my hand and everything. I just ignored her. I just kept on going, you know, whatever. And I didn't have anybody to stand up for me. One day she cornered me. She said, "I heard you called me up." And I said, "No, I didn't." She goes, "Well, I think you did. Crack." She cracked me in my face. And I just stood there like, and then I started crying, and I went to the office, and she got suspended, and that was the end of it. Like, she didn't have nothing else to say about me, and I never said anything else about her, and that was the end of it. I mean, I never said anything about her to begin with, but anyway, she got it. But anyway, it's that face-to-face interaction as opposed to all you and your friends and everything everybody has to say swirling around all the time, okay? We got to get back to the basics. The basics is if you got a problem with somebody, talk to them face-to-face, okay? What else?
I apologize for that. I just want to tell you that I love you.
Oh,
I apologize. Love you.
I like to say one thing. This goes for everybody. If you have a problem, you have to confront it and deal with it. You can't hide from it. You can't run from it. It's not going to go away. You have to deal with it. And the way that she's teaching you here is proper ways to deal with things. And then the first thing you need to do a lot of times is say, swallow your pride. I made a mistake. Admit you made a mistake. If that's what the case is, I'm sorry. That automatically flips things around for that other person. You know, and they're going to be more receptive to what you have to say if you admit that maybe you made a problem or you want to make things right. It opens the door for you to talk. But you have to deal with it. I went in a convenience store to get a cup of coffee one morning, and I asked this girl, I said, "How you doing?" She said, "I'll be doing real good after I get off of work. I'm leaving, I'm moving to Indiana, I'm getting away from Columbus." And I said, "Well," I said, "you're going to take your biggest problem with you." She said, "What's that?" I said, "Yourself." And think about it. You know, people with that kind of attitude, I could just imagine, you know, she's going to take her biggest problem with her.
right. Amanda.
I think the main thing that in the circle of God is men, boys in general.
Oh, no, you didn't.
And we got
Not only do they like start rumors as far as what happens in a relationship or what doesn't happen or things that they decide to make up. I mean, the main source of why girls don't like each other is because
Men.
guys say
Yeah,
something.
Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan.
You're right, that went on when I was in school.
Yes, Chris.
Honestly, I think it's like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Like, I mean, every story is always going to be different. Like,
There's two sides.
90% of the time, you will not find a couple that both sides are the same. Someone's always no. You're ruining it.
Well, that's a good point.
I respectfully disagree.
That's a good point, because literally, if I stood at that back door and I asked every single person that walked through it, what was tonight's lesson about? Every single one of you would have something different to say. Okay? They're like, because we're different people, we view things differently. Not everyone thinks the same as you do. That's why I'm trying to teach you respect. Just because someone doesn't have the same outlook as you do, or doesn't tell the story the same way that you do, doesn't mean that they're wrong and you're right. It doesn't mean that they're bad and you're good, and it doesn't mean the opposite either. It just means you're different people. Just like, I mean, literally, I'm a Christian, I believe in the Bible, okay? The Bible's like, 100% true, God's word and everything, but there's 4 gospels. And in the Bible, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John all told the story of Jesus. But those are not the exact same words in those 4 books. They're 4 people's account. And some things are left out of one book, some things are left out of 2 books. Doesn't mean those things didn't happen, just means they weren't important to that writer. So if the Bible itself can have things like that, 4 different people telling the same story 4 different ways, what makes us think we're any different? Okay? The way that you view what happened is going to be completely different than someone else's view of it. Okay? You get in a fight with someone and you guys are fighting, and then you go back and you post all over your Facebook that you won the fight. Guess what? The other person's going to be posting all over their Facebook that they won the fight. Okay? It's going to be, everybody has a different idea. And you guys have to realize that. Okay? Sometimes those discrepancies are what ends up causing a fight. And those are things that need to be confronted. In a good way. But there's something else I wanted to get back to what Sierra said. Ignoring someone. Alright? What is the step that we try to teach here that's past ignoring a problem?
Confronting?
Not necessarily confronting. What else am I looking for? Just ignoring someone for treating you badly isn't going to work. What else do we teach? What else? There's more I'm looking for. You guys are forgetting about the other half, okay? If you could read that back there. Skip the hate. What's the second part say? Spread the love. Spread the love. And so, the other half. What? The other half of getting someone to be okay with you is showing them kindness. So many times we forget that. We think we can just ignore the problem and it's going to go away. And that doesn't always happen. Sometimes it takes confrontation. Sometimes it takes you, like my dad said, swallowing your pride and deciding to be nice to someone, even though they treat you badly. It's hard to do. Yes?
So what if sometimes that doesn't work? Just like, what if somebody's so stubborn, I guess?
Bitter.
Ignorant?
Okay. That's not always going to work. You're right. Okay? That's why I'm giving you more than one idea. Okay? Being nice to someone doesn't always work. Sometimes people are going to be hateful to you no matter what you do. And that's just life. That's their problem, not yours. Okay? Then you have to go, do I need to confront this person? Okay? If kindness didn't work, do they need to be confronted? And you can still confront them in a respectful, kind way. And if that doesn't work, what then? Well, hello. Better late than never.
Man, we got people with
Let me give you another idea. If confronting them doesn't work, how about getting a third party involved?
So like
Okay.
force a double team?
No, not talking about that. Not talking about you and your best friend going to double team them.
Well, I'm stuck in football, I'm thinking.
Okay, I'm talking about maybe getting a third party that is not involved. I'll just use myself for an example, okay? Say two of you have a problem with each other, you can't resolve it, you confronted each other, you tried kindness, nothing works, and one of you come to me and say, you know what, so-and-so really hates me, I've tried these other things, I don't know what else to do, can you help me? And if you find someone that is uninvolved, that can give you some good advice and sit down with both of you to try to work the problems out, usually that works, okay? There's lots of different ways to handle problems. Violence is not a good one. Talking about people is not a good one. All right? We fight our issues with kindness. We fight our issues by standing up for ourselves because we have self-esteem, and we fight our issues by getting help from outside sources. All right? Does that help, you guys?
I read something the other day, it says you can destroy your enemies by making them your friends.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
There's a lot of truth in that.
Sometimes it's all about perception. Sometimes you think someone hates you and they don't. Lauren had that issue. She used to think people hated her just because they didn't talk to her. Well, I guarantee you, I don't always go around talking to everybody. Sometimes I'm just having a quiet day. Don't mean I hate you, it just means I'm quiet today, okay? It's your perception. If you think that person looked at you dirty or whatever, and you instantly got something in your heart against them, sometimes that's something if you confront them and talk to them about it, they're like, what are you talking about? You know? And you find out that you were the one that was wrong. Yeah, PJ.
I got a friend of mine.
Messing with the pins, now you gotta get that away.
I got a friend of mine. He, before we became friends, we used to absolutely hate each other. I mean, like, nonstop. I've been friends with the guy now for about 6 years, probably. But before we became friends, I mean, we were just nonstop fist fighting. I mean, we got into 2 fist fights. We hated each other, always screaming at each other. People were always trying to keep us away. And finally, you know, after the second time, you know, I myself realized that it's really worth it with this guy, you know, it's really worth it. And, you know, I don't know if he was thinking the same thing or what, but I took my guitar to school the next day, and I'm graduated now. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. And, you know, when I took my guitar to school, and I'm sitting there outside of school, and I'm sitting there playing around on it. He walked up to me, he was like, you play guitar? I was like, yeah. He was like, me too. And I was like, cool. He was like, cool. Now, I'm about to be the best man at his wedding this coming fall.
Wow.
That's something in
So,
common.
if we had something in common.
That's what you
we
gotta
didn't
do.
realize it at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's an awesome story.
Actually, there's this person I had a problem with, and I still kind of did feel, but they don't realize I don't. Like, they still think I have a problem with my don't. Because I realized I didn't really have a problem with them. I had a problem with myself, and I had to get over that because of what they were doing, and they don't understand that I don't not like them anymore, or that I don't have a problem with them. I had to get over what I was feeling and what I thought was going on, and I just had to realize that it was my fault. And
Have you talked to him?
I don't know.
You should. Anytime that you can make things right with someone, whether it's your fault or not, it's always the right thing to do, guys.
Right.
Always. There's not one person out there that deserves to have you hate them. Okay?
When I was in school, I always got the vibe from Lauren that like she didn't like me. Like, I don't know, all through middle school and then in high school, we became like best friends. So,
Yeah.
did you get that vibe from her that you could always be best friends again?
A lot of people got that vibe with her, you know, or they were intimidated by her for one reason or another.
But like in the end, I'm glad I got to know her. She was like a really nice girl, and like not people give her a chance to do what I did.
Right. So how many of you guys think you're a nice person? Anybody?
I know I'm not.
Okay. So you want people to know that, right? You want people to see you for who you are or what they think you are. You want them to see you for who you are. So you have to be the one that's responsible for destroying those false views of yourself. Okay? If you walk through school, I know you guys like my little things that I do. If you walk through school and you're all like, okay, if you're walking through school like that, is anyone really going to want to take the time to be your friend? No. Okay? Because probably one person out of this entire room would come up to me and be like, Jennifer, you have a bad day. Okay? But the rest of you guys would be like, oh my gosh, she hates me. I don't know what I did to her, but she's going to back off. Okay? What I'm trying to say is your body language, your tone of voice, the way you look at people, you don't realize, but it makes a huge difference in the way that people see you. And if you want people to see you for the good person that you are inside, you need to take responsibility for that. It's your responsibility for how you carry yourself. I'm not talking about being pretty or wearing the right clothes or anything like that. I'm talking about when you walk down the hall, you walk down the hall and you hold your head high and you look people in the eye and you smile at someone and you're like, hey, what's up? You know, you don't always have to be the best of moods, but the way that you carry yourself, even when you're not in a good mood, says a lot about you. Yes.
I think that all has to do with confidence, of course.
Right.
So I think like I used to be like that a lot. I think everybody just needs to find somebody that gives them confidence. Because I used to be like that all the time. Like head down, arms crossed, never talk to anybody. And then I started taking karate class. You know, I got a lot better and a lot stronger. Waylon's a white belt. I'm a black belt. So almost. And that's good. I have a lot more confidence in myself, and it gave me more confidence to talk to other people. And people started liking me more and talking to me more. So I think that people just need to get out and do stuff that actually gives them self-confidence.
That's exactly right.
Please see this.
Oh, okay, no problem. Because go for your two plates.
Thank you for coming. You have beautiful hair. She really wants to stay.
What do you have to say about this?
Well, from the job that I recently got fired from, like somebody 5 feet away from them, you can smile at them, or if they make eye contact or just look at you, you can smile at them. Right, the nice person.
I don't see you being a nice waitress.
I was never a waitress. I was a hostess, and I was.
She sat in the back.
Yes, Rachel.
Thank you.
Oh,
Guys are so freaking rude. Stop talking. You're really admitting that. I'm gonna freak out. Anyway, okay, so if you don't worry about what other people think, then it doesn't really matter anyway. I mean, people are gonna say stuff about you regardless if you are perfect. They're gonna say stuff about you. People talk about me all the time, and I just smile at them and say hi because there's nothing else you can do. If you let them think that they're winning, then they're gonna keep doing it, and then their friends are gonna do it, and then you're gonna get one more because you're letting them win. So if you act like it doesn't matter, then it just don't really
I used to try to teach Lauren all the time. If someone is being hateful to you, or especially when people flip you off, okay? Like the best thing you can do if someone seriously is flipping you off and being mean is wave to them and smile. Like, hey, what's up? You know, like seriously, they're gonna realize that they are the ones that look stupid. Okay? If you take your confidence and put it out there no matter what, okay? People can start to look at you in a different way. Like, dang, no matter what I say or do to that person, they still smile. They must have something on the inside that's really good. I want to get to know that person better.
I'm guilty with the bird.